we have caused this. God hasn't caused this. We've caused this to happen. The Greeks and the Romans believed that the earth was a goddess Gaia, and that she is, and as beautiful as she must be a goddess, and that we're destroying her. And so she must eject us. Just like an antibiotic, we are the thing that's destroying her. We must be ejected. The species that is the most endangered on this planet is man. And it's not because of what God has done, it's because of what we have done. And so, in fear, I ran to my beautiful friend, my best friend, my only friend, who has more humor and lightness and love. He's your friend. He's your only friend. He's your best friend. Keep it light, man. This guy is light. He's an enlightened being. They come to help us, to enlighten us, to guide us. And they come basically to vibrate on the planet. So I ran to him and I said, "Is it true? Is it true?" He said, "Yes, it's true." He said, "God is allowing mankind to destroy the earth. Only when mankind is brought to his knees will he turn towards God." I left that room in total and complete joy. Because what that meant is that the golden age, which has been promised for 30,000 years, is about to occur. And there's no greater time to be incarnated than right now. This is the time to be here. We will see the change come. Every civilization on the planet, everything on the planet, all life on the planet, and we're so self-involved with our nonsense. We don't even look at history or care about anything but our own little silly involvements. Because at this time, the mind-body experience is overstimulated. There's no place for God. The delusion of life, the Maya of life, is incredible. We have something called an ego. It's an essential part of the mind-body experience. It has 5 best friends. So it has total control over you, especially if everything around you is associated to those 5 friends. They're called the 5 senses. You wake up in the morning, you see, you touch, you smell, you taste, you hear. Your little mind starts twirling, and you think you're a human being. As Swami has said, you're a walking temple. That which has never been born never dies. You can't be soiled, you can't be hurt, you can't be damaged, you can't be anything. I know. He brought me back from the dead. He took me to the other side. You all know the stories. Sai Baba is a Zen master. A Zen master like all of them. How can he change you? He takes you there. He makes all the good people act bad. He makes all the bad people act good. He takes out of you what needs to be changed and he pulls it out, and you're there for 5 or 6 days. Everything, every negative emotion comes out of you, and how can he change you unless he pulls out of you and makes you face what it is that you have to change? This is Zen master, man. It's unique. It's the only thing you can relate to, because you cannot relate to the cosmic form. And there's only one testament that all of you who have been there and have known and are seekers can say. There's only one thing that can make you believe in Sai Baba, because you do not know who he is. It's beyond you completely, and me. But we can all testify to one thing. The real Leela to talk about is transformation. Everyone in this room, everyone at that ashram, everyone that has experienced his orbit anywhere in the world has a story about transformation. He changed you. He made you think differently. He brought out the bad so you could see it and see what you needed changed. If you were bad, He brought out the good and showed you you could be good. He transformed you. That's the only way you can know Him. Because it's not meant to see the cosmic body. But the experience of the Divine Master, of which there have been many, is the whole gig, man. It's the whole thing. Your relationship is one-on-one with Him. That's also another unique experience. Do not get confused with a collective thinking that your relationship is a group relationship, because it's not. It's one-on-one. And that is the delicious knowledge He has given you. I've been with Him since I was 24 years old. They asked me to speak about a couple of things. They think that if you believe in the Leelas, you'll believe in God. And magic things and materializations and being brought back from the dead and all that. That's nonsense. The Leela, the only Leela that you can relate to, is your own personal transformation. You don't need any Leelas. You don't need any rings. You don't need any vibhuti. You don't need any of that. You need to know that the orbit, the vibration, has transformed you. And the last time I sat with Him inside, I said, Swami, I'm praying to Lakshmi, every night. I'm doing what you told me to do. And He took His finger and put it right on my chest as hard as He could. He says, Lakshmi is inside of you. There was a great saint, Saint Germain. He apparently lived for 375 years. He wrote a book called The Seventh Ray. I suggest that you all try to get it. You probably get it on the internet. He is one of the ascended masters. And he talks about bhajans, Vedic chanting, hymns from all the religions. When I went there when I was 24, I never knew what the bhajans were about. I didn't understand them. I didn't understand the language. I don't speak Telugu. I didn't have the translations. But I knew I always felt enlightened or enlivened or something by sitting there, even listening to words I didn't understand. And then suddenly this Saint Germain was brought into my life by Sai Baba. There are unique circumstances. And Saint Germain on page 58 speaks of hymns, congregational prayer, chanting Vedas, and from every religion, from Buddhism to the Quran, Christianity, Hinduism. And he said, when you chant these things, all the divine beings from the astral plane come there, and they are there with you. Part of the enlightenment. But more interesting is that they also come from inside of you out. Because you are walking temples. All the divine beings are inside of you, not outside of you. What foolishness is this duality? This is how we fell from grace. This is why we had to go through 25,000 years of mistake. And now we're in the Kali Yuga, the very last end of it all, the darkest hours before the dawn. And yes, Sai Baba told me 20 years ago, yes, Al Gore is right. And the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are on their horses and they're riding now. You know what that means? It means hallelujah, man. It does. Most people I tell this to, oh, what should I do with my money? Where should I take my family? Should I sell that house in San Diego? It's right on the beach. Now and they said, where could I be safe? Should I go to Puta Party? Should I go up to Bhutan? Should I go up to... There's going to be no safe place. The only thing you should care about is that you are blessed to be here to see the transition of the new age. This Maya machine started with the Industrial Revolution. Whenever you wanted to have money, because there were only kings and warlords and monarchs throughout this entire land, Isthmus Valley, you name it, China, period. Every other person that lived under their roof were slaves, were serf, were nothing. There was no law for them. They owned something. They owned a soldier's uniform to go fight somebody else for these guys. Because the only way you get more money or gold or silver was to go rob it from this other kingdom. Go get from these other guys. And then all of a sudden the Industrial Revolution came along. And we started making things for the masses. So suddenly everyone said, hey, we don't have to go rob any money across the street. We can sell stuff to our own guys and make a fortune. We can make our fortunes internally. And that's when the Maya of wanting and needing and having things, which you are all sitting at the ultimate moment of, started. 1820, 1830. Started with something called a cotton gin. And then the English and the Dutch and the Germans and all of them started manufacturing everything for the masses. And that was, people wanted things, to have things, comparing to their neighbor. I have this, you don't have this. I have this, you have this, I have this, you don't have this, you have this, I don't have this. And that's when the mind-body experience was overstimulated and the stimulation began.